Hello everyone, welcome to vishnuiasacademy. Today we'll discuss about solar tornadoes or the quakes in the sun. So let's begin with. Most of you might not believe even the quakes occur in sun as well. We know about earthquakes but not the sun quakes, right? So now we'll discuss about those things now. So this is the sun, and if this sun quakes or solar tornadoes happen, this is how the sun looks. It's a image, and if you see why these solar tornadoes are in news. So let's discuss basically what are solar tornadoes. So let's see. Okay, this is a sun, right? And if this is earth, we know there is some magnetic attraction or the pull between the sun and earth. So that's what we have represented with these lines. And because of the winds caused in the polar regions on the southern pole as well as the northern pole, this magnetic attraction will be more at the poles. That magnetic attraction with the sun rays over that magnetic field, which causes aurora borealis. You already know. So because of this, we get aurora borealis, or we can see northern lights. Anything is same. So this force between this sun and the magnetic field, if occurs, this causes aurora borealis over here. So that's why, because of the more magnetic attraction and this sun rays attraction on the north pole, we can see all the aurora borealis in the northern parts in particular. Because if you see, we'll have small dust particles, and again this rays, when it reflects, it will seen as a most important purple or a pink color. That is nothing but aurora borealis. So only we can see that borealis in the Arctic region. So that is about aurora borealis, which is regarding to the magnetic field. But these solar tornadoes, recently we got to see or we got to experience this one in August 20th to 2025. It's a rare event, and it is maximum expulsion of magnetic field by the sun. And if you see, scientist Maximilian Thionos, he actually captured the image of these solar tornado. And if you see, what are the other things which he captured, and from that picture what are the implications, we will see. So it's a giant solar tornado till now happened, and a massive plasma eruption called a prominence. If you see, always we know that sun is a burning gaseous whole lump, right? So always there will be some or other thing happening inside the sun. So that plasma expulsion with all the magnetic field eruption coming out, pulling out, that leads to the tornado. So these two events, what are those two events? Tornado is the first event. Next one would be plasma eruption. See, tornado in the sense, it's nothing but a big centripetal force, and along with that centrifugal force happens expulsion of plasma. Together these two events happened on August 28th, and this image you can see is actually imaginary image. And if you see, what is this solar tornado? As we can see, inside the temperature in the core and the radioactive zone will be much higher. And if you see, this is where we can see the temperature minimum, which we call as a photosphere, and outer layer of the sun, we'll call it as a chromosphere. And from outside space till sun reaches the point, that we call it as a transition zone. So these are the things, when it expels some kind of plasma, there is a chance of getting flares. This is flare, and the region where this effect could be seen, that we call it as a corona. So solar wind and this corona, after that transition zone, and the flares will occur. And if you see, these are the important places where we much able to see that effect of magnetic field with a tornado, that we call it as sunspot. That's why if you see, even in the moon you can see some spots. Those are like dead zones. And even some parts of the moon we can see because of the mountains. Okay. In the same way, it made this tornado, it made hot charged gas called plasma, it expelled out. That is a tornado. And this plasma with the centripetal or centrifugal force acting together, they turn and they pull that plasma inside the sun. That's what happened. So because of the magnetic field, it reached up to the height of 1,30,000 kilometers. In the same way, plasma spins at the speed of 2 lakh kilometer per hour. That's what you have to remember. And this numbers is not important, but the way it's acting on the plasma is much more important for you. And if you see, what is this plasma eruption? If you see, as I said, this is a vertical image of the sun, corona transition region and the chromosphere. If you observe, as I said, this is the place from the outer part and to the inner part, and this is the where we can see the temperature maximum. And next, this is the where the actual spinning takes place because of the more temperature and more attraction forces inside due to the fission and fusion reactions together with the magnetic field. So that's why it's a spinning like tornado inside sun. Usually on earth we can see tornadoes in the most of the USA, Alaska regions, but this is happening in the sun. And because of this eruption, sometimes these led to the coronal mass rejections. So this is a coronal mass rejection, right? This is a corona. If you see this mass, because of much force, it will spell out. That is called as a coronal mass ejection. And if you see, this is the sun. It is the flare. Because of this coronal mass ejection, we can see the plasma coming out there. So that's what this we have seen that image. And now we'll see some of the important causes of this event. So coming to the first one, solar tornado and eruption where plasma will be bind together. This is the one of the cause because of the disturbances created inside the sun. And one more would be magnetic fields, because of the magnetic force can be either repulsion or the attraction. So both together acting is the one more reason. And the other one would be tension between the two particulate matter, which is nothing but a parts of plasma. We can see that also caused this event. And this event happened in the most active phase called the solar maximum. Solar maximum is a place where sun's all forces will be maximum and where we can see the expulsion of plasma also bit maximum. So that is the maximum area. So during this solar maximum, more sunspot flares and eruptions may occur because all magnetic field, plasma, eruptions, tornado, everything coming together, we witness this event. And if you see, other common, because now we are linking magnetic field with the flares, with the plasma on the earth. So as I said, aurora borealis also related to this thing, but it is only related to the earth dust particles and the magnetic field. So magnetic field of both earth and the sun is related to tornadoes. So in this way we can link both the things. That's why if you see solar wind, solar flare, flux rope, these are the important terms you need to learn. Coming to the first, solar wind, in here plasma flows outward, and if you see solar flare, this is nothing but a sudden release of energy because of plasma, that is due to the magnetic connection. And next would be flux rope. Plasma when twisted as a tornado we will call as a flux rope. And this coronal rain is a small plasma jets and a falling plasma guided by magnetic fields. If you drop these magnetic fields, that would be called as a speckles or coronal rain. These are the certain important terms. And if you see why it matters for the earth, like why it is so important, because all our satellites, all our communication may get affected due to this coronal magnetic field or coronal mass ejection, because always sun will have some magnetic force or certain plasma ejection which impacts our earth. So because of this huge impact, it may leads to the problem with the communication on Earth. So that's why affect in many ways. So damage satellites, disrupt GPS, global position system and communication, and also cause solar storms, and there is a high chances of visibility of this aurora borealis. So usually where we have the less polluted area, though those areas we can see this aurora borealis with a beautiful sky in the same manner. This is not an edited image, it's an original image where we can see the sky in this manner. In the most of the parts of Norway, Sweden or Alaska or Russia, you can see, because those are Arctic regions with a less pollution. So this scientist understand space weather not only protects our technology, in some ways or other, it may leads to the harmness of a technology. It may impede a technology as well. So in this way, if you study tornado and a magnetic field of Earth, it will be very important for your science and technology paper as well. So with this, today we'll end our session with this important topic regarding sun and the magnetic field with the solar tornadoes. So if you like our initiative, please like, share, comment our Vishnu IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you.